Okay, so the scenario is outflank, outfight, outlast. So we have two 11-inch circles. If you get inside if you own the circle, you get a point starting turn 2. And you have to get up to 3 and be 1 over what your opponent has. So we actually have deployment right now. It's Aaron Signar versus Larry's Menoth. And this is Larry's deployment right here. That's actually Epic Severius. We have a Hierophant, a Choir. We have, let's see, what was the guy in the middle?
That's a Vassal.
We have a Vassal Mechanic.
No.
Is it a Vassal or Vassal?
It's a Vassal Menoth. It's
Vassal of Menoth, okay.
A Guardian, a Reckoner, and a Crusader.
Okay, sweet. And then I have a Trencher Cannon right here. I have a Lancer. I have Epic Nemo with the Squire. And then over here I have 2 Ironclads. That's a stand-in for a Mechanic, and then 3 Bodgers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do turn 1. Alright, so I moved the Ironclad up 3 inches. I moved the other 6 inches. I moved the other Ironclad up 6 inches. I moved the Mechanics up behind it. I moved Nemo up 6 inches, and I cast a Polarity Shield on this Ironclad. I cast Failsafe on this Lancer, and I cast Lightning Shroud on this Ironclad. And then I move the Squire up behind him. I moved the Lancer up 6 inches, and the cannon stayed as is. And that's Signar.
Guardian has Epic Severus's Bond, so as long as I maintain a focus on him, he can take damage once per turn and negate it, so I kept 1 focus on him. But after that, I moved my Choir first. I cast Passage on all of them, make them immune to gunfire, and then ran them up into the objective zone. I moved my Vassal up. He was out of range to cast Enliven on anything. And then I moved my Hierophant up. Cast the ability that lets my caster use 1 less focus for one of my spells. And then move Service up, casting Holy Ward on my Choir, which will protect them from magic and add to their defense. And that was the end of my turn 1. Go.
So I moved, I popped Energizer for 2 inches on my whole battle group with Nemo after I moved him up. And then I shot my Galtronic Volt at, what is that one?
The Reckoner?
At the Reckoner.
Wah, wah, wah.
I boosted the hit and hit it, so now it can't advance. And it's got -4 defense. The 2 around it, because they're within 3 inches, they can only advance towards the Reckoner. Then what I did is I used a focus to move up the Ironclad. I moved the Squire up next to Nemo. I moved the other Ironclad. I ran the Mechanics. The cannon pretty much did nothing because his Choir had cast the thing where he can't shoot at him. And then I moved up the Lancer. And that's turn 2 for Signar.
Alright, so my Jacks couldn't really move this turn because of Nemo and his fun and games. So first I moved the Vassal up, used the ancillary attack to make the Reckoner to fire on Nemo, totally missing. Then I moved Severus up, used his Rain of Fire through the Arc Node to fire on this Jack here. It hit the Jack, failed to damage the Jack, and what I was really hoping for is that Nemo was within 5 inches, and so he could receive some admonition, a word I can never pronounce, and it failed to do so. He was just out of 5. After that, ran the Choir up so they could catch up, ran the Hierophant up so we would stand between Severus and any sort of gunfire he might receive, and that's the end. Oh, and then I activated the Reckoner and fired on Nemo, hitting him and
3 points.
3 points of damage, and that was my turn.
Alright, and then I got a power token, or no, this isn't Epic, this is the regular one, so he doesn't get that. Alright, so we're going on. Alright, so what I did this turn was I activated Nemo. I used, let's see, Energizer to move all my jacks up to 1 inch. I just moved this jack over a little bit, get him a little farther out of range, charge range maybe, but I think he's fine over there. This is actually my second point I got for this jack, so this at end of turn I have 2 points. And then as far as Nemo, I let all my upkeeps expire. I cast Lightning Shroud on the Lancer, and then I shot his, what was this jack again?
Reckoner.
I shot his Reckoner with the Galvatronic Bolt again, so he's pretty much stuck there. And it gave him -4 defense. I moved the Ironclad over to screen for Nemo, and then I moved the Squire up a little bit for the same reason. I charged his Reckoner with my Lancer. What I did was I smacked him with the shield for a Cortex damage and no other damage. Electro leaped onto one of his Choir, killing it. And through the turn, I Electro leaped enough to kill his Choir, all his Choir, and the Vassal. And that's one of the abilities that you get from Lightning Shroud, is it gives all your weapons Electro leap. So then I hit him with my spear, and I think I did a couple points of damage. And then I just did 2 more hits with my shield to take out the rest of his Cortex. Okay, so the batteries went dead on the camera, but pretty much the rest of it is I ran up all these mechanics right here to try and get him in range for next turn. After Larry bashes my Lancer to shit. But what I didn't mention is the first thing I actually did was shoot my cannon at his Guardian, and it did a couple of points of damage, but that was also one of the things that killed one of his Choir. And then that is my turn.
Alright, so with nothing to lose and him about to win points-wise over here, my jacks can't move because of Nemo and his fancy little gun, so I ran the Hierophant up to get him out of the way and ran Severus up. I cast Severus Awareness so he could get to see his jack, and then I used my feet. I used my feet to take over his gun crew and all of his mechanics. The gun crew shot at Nemo, doing
5 points.
about 5 points of damage. And then, with nothing really to do with his mechanics, I charged the rear of his jack, hoping to do a little damage to it. I then cast Hex Blast through the Arc Node, hoping to hit, thinking that his caster was out of range, hoping to hit his Squire. This caster was in range the whole time, but I missed the Squire, and it totally scattered off. And for the final act, I used my Rain of Fire through the Arc Node, hitting his jack, and then the Admonisher damaged Nemo all the way down to his last little bit of health. He's got 1 health point left, and so
1 point.
With 1 point and his jack getting ready to score the points, it's over.
Yeah, so basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put the hurt on him, so he's going to have to spend some points in that the next round to try and heal his stuff up. So we will do my turn, and then that's probably going to... It's already game, but I'm going to go ahead and do my turn just to put the hurt on him. Alright, so pretty much this turn, it looks like I'm going to win, but we're just doing this so I can put the hurt on him a little bit, like I said. So basically what I did is I tried to fix the Lancer with my mechanics. I added one of the Gobers onto the Sergeant's roll, whiffed it on 12, and then I tried with the other 2 Gobers as regular on 6s, and I missed with both of those. So then what I did was I activated the Squire, I moved him up. I activated Nemo, moved him up. I shot a Galvatronic Bolt at the Guardian. Did some damage, boosted the hit and the damage. I left all 7 focus on him because I was popping his feet this turn. And so I popped his feet, put focus on the Ironclad and the Lancer. I didn't bother with the guy over in the other objective because he's way out to do anything. Then I shot Electrical Blast at the Guardian again, and I boosted it. And I boosted the damage, and then I used another focus to Energizer just to make sure that Ironclad got in. It was one focus. Couldn't do anything anyways. I shot the cannon at the Hierophant, and I missed, and it scattered off, didn't do anything. I charged the Ironclad up from right here, and it pretty much punched that Reckoner in the face. I boosted the hit on the Thunderhammer. I boosted the hit on the Fist, and then I just gave it another attack. And Reckoner, it had 2 points left, so all I had to do was 2 points with that Lancer, and it pretty much didn't damage it for shit. I tried to just bash it with the shield first, see if I could maybe get the 2 points. Did nothing. Hit it with the spear, boosted, did nothing, and then I used the last focus to get another attack with the spear, did nothing. So it has survived. But I did get 3 Electro Leaps, which the first 2 that I got off killed the Hierophant that was over there by Severius. So I think that's pretty much it. I was trying to get some damage in and did a good amount, but I was hoping to really kill off that Reckoner because he'd have to pay the full points to get another one instead of the 5 points to repair. And that's the end of the game. I've pretty much had this Ironclad over here unmolested for 3 turns, and that's what won it for me.